Welcome back to the 8:30 show. Today we're going to hit a few topics. First, I want to talk about a bill on reusable trash bags.
Oh God.
they're trying to eliminate trash bags again in California. This was presented by Senator Catherine Blakespear, Democrat for Encinitas, and Senator Ben Allen, Democrat for Santa Monica. It was a 5-2 vote, and this is being brought back up. Our options are paper bags and the other type of bags, reusable bags like
Oh, the
fabric.
ones you buy, the fabric ones.
Yeah. So that's basically what they're bringing up, which I don't understand why this is an issue when there are so many other issues to be handled in the state of California.
Yeah, but I thought the bags themselves. So when they first initiated this bill,
Mhm.
I could have sworn that the whole purpose of them charging us to buy the bags, the reusable type, was also because they were biodegradable now.
Well, the little scheme didn't work because people are using even more bags now. So yeah, so we're back to this where it's paper bags or the reusable bags that you can use over and over and over
Oh
again,
God.
which is again, I'm frustrated with this bill because you're wasting tax dollars on this stupidity instead of taking care of issues that are actually happening in this state, like thievery. Where's the bill for that? um what's the other thing? The homelessness. Where's the
Yeah.
thing for that? Like, and oh man, so many things. California.
Well, I don't get it. Like the California legislation, California is being run by a bunch of morons. Like, why is this a thing? Like,
California, even even our city mayor. Yeah.
I don't understand it. Like, the whole premise was that, oh, we're going to switch to these type of bags, which was going to make it more expensive for the markets to supply. So the markets were going to have to charge us because they're recyclable bags and biodegradable. What happened?
I don't know.
What happened
I
to that?
said their little scheme didn't work.
And
Whatever they had planned did not work because they're saying that their people are excuse me, using them even more now.
we're being charged for it. So what's the
Exactly.
difference?
But I don't even get it though. I'm back to the why are our tax dollars on this? Why is this even an issue right now?
Yeah,
I
I
I,
don't
I
think
get that
it's.
you want to save the oceans and all of that. Hey, I get that. But what about people who need mental health that are living on the streets
Hmm.
of LA
Or people that are living on the streets
or not even
because
LA,
they're
California? Sorry.
yeah, well, people living on the streets because they have a drug addiction that, again, I it falls back to mental health, if you, I guess, if that's where you classify it at.
Yeah.
But where and didn't they just do something with all this? It's so disgusting.
Apparently there was $24 billion. I was mistaken by telling you 2 billion. It was $24 billion that disappeared, and that was supposed to go towards the homeless, and this is for California. Where's that money? Where'd
uh
that money go? In somebody's, in several people's pockets, I'm assuming,
yeah.
but it didn't go towards the homeless.
No.
And my issue as well with the homeless is that a lot of these people need mental health care. Um, Giving them a home, as the mayor of Los Angeles would like people to do, or that was the title of the article, for the rich to buy homes for homeless people.
Yeah.
You put them in an apartment, let's just say. Every homeless person gets a place to live. Then you have to deal with those that are not mentally capable of being on their own, of having, not taking their medication, having some type of psychotic break, because it's happened. I've read a few articles on it,
Hmm.
and it's happened, and people are trying to evict these people because the government is paying their rent.
Yeah.
So the only thing they have is the fact that they have these outbursts and this erratic behavior, and some are even violent. And these people have been kind of doing this for years, trying to get them evicted because these people need mental help. Giving them a place to live, that's great, but what about the mental stability of these people? Now you're putting other people in danger. So why isn't that going towards medical hospitals for mental health, that money for
Or
the homeless?
even social workers. If I'm not mistaken, there's a shortage on social workers to be even able to assess it. You can't call the police to handle mental health situations. I mean, the police can barely handle crime. And what I mean by they can barely handle crime, I mean there's a lot of videos of and reports of police using excessive force
Mm-hmm.
on mental people, not mental unstable, just people with mental illness,
Yes.
and the whole spectrum of mental illness from autism all the way to whatever, schizophrenia. The police are not equipped to handle that. I know that there was supposed to be some kind of bill or some kind of thing that law enforcement was trying to enact so that they can have the officers be certified in social work.
Yeah.
Uh, Again, I think that's about, you'll have to have an officer who's willing to go through that kind of training and get that kind of education. If they don't want it, if they're old already, or if they're set in their ways, the older you get, the more set in your ways you get. You know what I mean?
Tell me about it.
So you got officers that, and some officers aren't even smart enough to discern certain things to begin with. I mean, no slouch to law enforcement. I think law enforcement does a hell of a job as far as what they have to deal with.
For sure.
And I mean, I'm not saying hell of a job as in they're good actors all through and through. I'm just saying, you're dealing with a lot of stress. My whole theory with law enforcement, especially local law enforcement that are on the front line, is that they need to be 6 months on street duty and 6 months behind the desk to decompress from um, that type of situation and regain some of their humanity back. Just going hard all the time is not good for your mental health.
I'm sure.
Even for someone who's mentally stable, I mean, you can only take so much. I
No,
mean,
absolutely.
how many times are you going to witness somebody being killed and seeing that, or some other way out situation? I mean, these people, cops need that break as well, and I'm all for that part, with
Yeah, but
police
it
reform
leads me
as well.
back to a bill that was brought up with about trash bags.
Yeah, because they need some
That's
more
where
tax
the
money from
time
us.
is, but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not where the money should be going.
No,
Senators, like, I understand where you're going with this, but that's not what needs to happen right now.
right now they're
I
trying
don't
to drain
understand.
us completely dry of all money. They're
Man,
gonna tax they're
they're
like
taxing
space balls.
everything. Yeah.
California is like space balls right now. You want air, we're gonna tax you air, fresh air in a can.
Spaceballs the trash bag.
California in the trash bag.
Cali Air.
Cali
Yeah,
air.
right? For real.
Only the finest of airs.
It's crazy. Everything is getting taxed.
Yeah.
Spaceballs the electricity bill.
Oh, they already got
It's
that.
but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
And the gas bill and the water bill, which we ain't got no
it's
water.
everything is getting taxed no matter what. And they're trying, but here's my issue with that. Since they're taxing so much shit, where is that money going?
I'm gonna tell
Where's
you,
that money going? Because I'm not seeing a change. I thought when weed was legalized, I thought that was going to bring just all this money into the state. I don't see shit.
it did bring money into the state. You know where, and you know what state it went to? The pockets of the fat cats, the big wigs,
Yeah,
living in the
that's
$6 to $8 million
I
mansions.
I feel like government jobs should be reevaluated into them making minimum wage to start and work your way up and not make millions off of what you know, and illegal trade, because I feel like it's illegal. I'm calling it illegal. It's legal for them to trade stocks while they're in Senate, whatever
Yeah.
office they're fucking in, but they're millionaires. Like, how is that a thing? How is that okay?
Well, it's like insider trading because they know some things that shouldn't be known, and then they go and put their money on or
But
take their
Martha
money
went
out.
to jail for that.
Yeah, she was an example, and that's why when Martha came out, she was about that street life, that
It's
pen life,
crazy.
and teamed
That's
up with
crazy.
Snoop
But
Dogg to
that's
make
the
a
bill
show.
that's being passed.
Yeah, it's a bullshit bill. Um,
All about the environment is basically what it is. It's about the environment. But what about the environment for kids walking to school and having to walk through a homeless,
encampment
yeah, what about that environment? What about the environment of trash all over the place, and these RVs are parked on these streets, and people are trying to get to work. Women have to walk, to get to work. I see it every day when I go to work. I see these women walking to get to their job when they get off the bus, and they got to walk through these RV encampments, and these people got all this trash out there and
Yeah.
nothing's happening. It's just wow.
Well, I know in downtown I see them clean up those situations, but well, you know what I see when they clean those things up? All they do is they come with a trash truck. Um, they take all their stuff,
Yeah.
throw it away,
Yeah.
and then it's good for 48 hours, 72 hours, and then next thing you know, the encampment is back. And to me, that lets me know that they're not doing nothing but trying to put a band-aid over a situation.
Yeah.
um,
Fix it. Fix it. These people need help.
yeah.
Fix it. And I can easily say that because I'm a taxpayer.
Yeah.
I'm saying it because I pay taxes. I pay my state and federal taxes. So do something about it.
And they put all these things up for voting and stuff like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to renovate these hotels, we're going to buy these hotels, we're going to renovate them and turn them into homeless shelters. We're going to make these tiny home villages. And, I'm all for that. Okay, that sounds like a solution, but what is the solution to get them back up on their feet and, back into society like a regular person?
They don't give a fuck. That's
And
the problem.
well, not only that, but I also feel like some of these situations, these people may not be able to do that because they've been out of the workforce for so long. You know, times are changed now. A lot of things are
Yeah.
electronic.
Yeah.
If they're not able to understand, they need education at that point to get them to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Um,
But they had billions
so
to do that.
yeah, no, that they didn't have
Billions that
billions.
mysteriously just disappeared.
They didn't have billions. That was
Nobody knows what happened to
that
it.
that was the seed money for their pocket. We got to get the next billion to do
Man,
something. That's what it sounds
that's
like to me.
horrible.
I don't mean to laugh about it, but that's what it sounds like to me. They use that money to line their pockets to do whatever they wanted to do, and none of it was to actually do what they needed to do.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I said, I'm in downtown a lot, and I see all this in downtown. I see all the homeless. I see all the encampments. Even just coming home and just driving through the neighborhoods to get home, you see all these things, and
They're everywhere.
yeah,
It's everywhere.
you have the L.A. River had a shanty town
I saw
where
that.
I was like, "Fuck, are we living in Mad Max Thunderdome? Is this Bartertown? What's going on
I
here?"
mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people have moved into the mountains and taken over
Yeah,
lots of property that people own, but they've just claimed it
yeah.
because I think it's just that bad.
And it's only going to get worse as it progresses if there's nothing being done. I mean,
Well,
the
yeah,
cost of living in California
that's
as
what I
of
was going
right
to
now
mention.
is pretty high. Real estate everywhere is still not in the best position for buyers. It's not ideal.
It's I have to say that everything that's going on, and it's not just California, it's throughout the country.
Mhm.
the outrage of prices on everything, not just the cost of a home, but down to the food, the gas,
Yeah.
the bills, and they're trying to tax more on that,
Yeah.
on all of those things. You can't go buy something for $5. For $5, you could go buy a few things. Now you can barely buy anything that's edible, you know what I mean, that you can actually make food from for $5.
You can't even go to Taco Bell and get something for $5
Back to
and be
Taco
like,
Bell. We
"Fuck, I'm
always talk
full."
about Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, you used to take $5 and eat like a king. You eat like
For
King
real. And
Charles
then,
up in that bitch.
okay, so Taco Bell came across my Instagram
Yeah.
and they were advertising. They had the little crusty commercial
Uh huh.
and they showed everything on there. Their tacos, burritos. The burritos were like fat,
Yeah.
like they used to be back in the day.
A
And
real
I
burrito.
and I commented on their shit and I told them, you better update your pictures
Mm-hmm.
with what they really look like before you get sued.
Yeah.
Because you guys are and this is not just Taco Bell, this is all these corporations. I think it's Nestle. I think I brought this up before when we
Yes.
talked about shrinkflation,
Yeah.
how they advertise like this is what it looks like, and it's like all, you got your what's it
It
called?
looks
The
delicious, and
what's
when
the
you
ice cream?
the cones, the
The
Nestle
drumsticks.
drumsticks.
Drumsticks. They got the drumsticks
Yeah.
and they got this big old ball, which is the vanilla ice cream. It's coated with the chocolate. It's got the nuts all over it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we go and open the box, the nuts are just on top.
You get 5
It's like a
nuts.
little like toupee of nuts on
You
top.
get 5 nuts.
That's it. That does it looks nothing like and they're smaller.
Yeah.
They are smaller.
Yeah. But
But no
but they
one
paying for the same price.
Yeah.
It's the same price or
Class
more.
action right here with Nestle because that's bullshit. You're advertising something in the picture that you're not actually selling. Same thing with Taco Bell. Same thing with a lot of these places. They advertise the food to be this, but then it's that. Like, how is that fair? But you want me to go spend my hard earned dollars at your
Mm-hmm.
place. I feel bamboozled by the time I leave the supermarket because I don't want to go back and return my ice cream after I've opened the box and seen the bullshit that they put in there.
It's all boxed in like 5 little
I'm not going to go back
cones.
to Taco Bell and tell them give me my money back. I'm just going to take the shit and that's what all of us do, but it's unfair. It's unfair.
You better
And
scoop some more beans on my
that
bean and
goes
cheese.
that goes along with so many other things. That's detergent,
Hmm.
soap,
Yep.
shampoo, conditioner. They give you this like, oh, bigger size, but it's actually smaller than what you used to buy. And only people that have like the previous bottle will really know.
Hmm.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's more air than Doritos. Like,
Or what about this one? I seen this one recently that's popped up where like it's the what is it, like the Black Friday events or whatever, these blowout sale events, and they're like, oh
yeah.
yeah, now you can get it for half price and blah blah blah, but the half price is the original price that
Yep.
it was never a different price.
Yep.
They're tricking you with marketing trickery.
Yeah. They
Fucking
are.
bastards.
Anyway,
Stealing our
so
money. Stealing our
that
money
back
right
to
in
the
front of us.
reusable bags, that's bullshit. Put our money, our tax dollars towards something like taking care of the homeless and people who need mental health.
Yeah.
Like, do something about it. This is ridiculous what you're doing with our tax dollars, paying for your life. That's not what it's for. It's for you guys to do something about our environment that we live in. That's what we pay taxes for you guys to fix the streets, to fix all the shit outside.
Yeah.
And that's not what's happening.
I want
Somebody's pocketing this money and these people are not getting the help that they need and other things that need to be done in this state.
I wonder if you could. Now, I'm just throwing this out there. If anybody knows, go ahead and drop a comment about it. I wonder if you could audit a state privately, like you, the people, we, the people, the citizens can go and audit. I know it's going to cost some money, but I wonder if that's even a thing. Like
I don't
you
know.
can audit an HOA. You know what I mean? Like you can audit, like the
I'm
IRS can
sorry,
come
I
and
laughed
audit
at
your
that
ass.
because The HOA shit. Mm-mm. That
Well,
shit is mission impossible.
but I'm saying, like,
Not impossible, but
like the IRS can audit civilians. Can civilians
it
audit the
would be
state
hard.
government? Huh?
Oh, I just finishing my thought. Sorry.
I wonder if that's a possibility, if that's something that can be done. I know it's probably going to be expensive, and who can you trust, that type of thing. Are they
Can't
in
trust
cahoots
nobody.
together? They're just taking your money.
Can't
But
trust nobody.
just curious on that. That's
No,
a
I
thought
hear
that
you.
popped in my head as you were saying that.
So, I want to move on to the Senate bill. That's been the hot topic
What Senate
lately.
bill?
It's a Senate bill of $95 billion in foreign aid
Motherfuckers. Some more
going to,
stealing my money is what you're telling me.
along with a TikTok ban.
Yeah.
And that was, they basically told the Chinese based company that they have 1 year to sell. The votes were 360 to 58.
I
So,
Go ahead.
no,
I'm
I was
sorry.
going to say, so what they plan on doing with $95 billion is not only fucking us,
Of
but giving
course.
60 billion to Kiev, 26 billion to Israel, including Gaza, and 8 billion, 8 billion to Indo-Pacific region. And I looked into that because I was like, what is that for? And
Where is
it's
the Indo-Pacific, by the way?
I didn't look that up. I didn't look that up. I just looked up what this meant
Okay.
because I'm curious, like, what the hell does 8 billion of our dollars going to Indo-Pacific region gonna do?
Yeah.
And it says to counter China's actions.
Is
So that's that
that
sounds like,
bullshit?
well, it sounds like the US is low key trying to fuck with China. It screams war to me, but what do I know?
That's what the United States of America is good for at this current state in our nation. We are good at proxy wars.
Help me
So,
understand, David. Help me
so
understand.
this money that they're giving to
Yes,
Israel, Kiev, whatever, and
Kiev.
whoever, and Sam, Dick, and Joe, and
No, Sam, Dick, and Joe ain't getting it.
uh, uh,
It's
who,
uh
uh,
fucking
Jacob.
yeah, like it's
uh,
not for anybody here.
Yeah, well, the point I'm making is this is so that they can fund their war efforts because America is currently doing proxy wars. I think it's fucking stupid. I did not sign off for giving any money to anybody. Bring my goddamn money back home. My money got blood on it. I done worked on my money. You motherfuckers need to come on with it. Fuck all that. We got
Okay.
problems here. Y'all need to
Yes.
solve the problems here before we can
Yes.
solve problems anywhere else.
How are you going to give? I mean, I know how, but how do you give our money away and you can't even do nothing for your own people?
Yeah. And it's
This is
yeah.
this is our government. Our government that is supposed to be for the people, which I've said before, they're not for the people, they're for themselves. This is
Mhm.
all some special interest backdoor bullshit. I'm frustrated. I'm so frustrated because $96 billion could do so much for our country. For our country who is in a debt.
Yeah.
Let's show them the debt.
Let's go ahead and look at this debt calendar. Let's see what they got here going on.
So this is the US debt clock.
Yeah.
We're over 34 billion, or no, I'm sorry, trillion dollars in debt. That shit is in red.
How we giving out money?
How?
How we giving money to people that we ain't even got the money, and
Are they paying us back with interest?
they ain't
What
giving us
kind of
shit.
interest? Is it your interest? Because it ain't my interest.
Feel me?
Like, it ain't in the interest of the American people. The representatives of this country are full of shit and only out for themselves and their own interests. That's what I'm seeing. And I say this because I've seen so many people talk about how they are not okay with this $93 billion being sent over to foreign countries. But you don't want to
Yeah.
help this country. You don't
I'm
want
not
to
okay
help your
with that.
own people.
I
Go
mean,
ahead.
I'm not okay with that. Like, come on, like we're over here, everybody in this country is over here drowning,
Drowning.
drowning, drowning. We're no longer, you know, we before we was keeping our head above water. No, we ain't. We drowning now. We slowly drowning. Where the fuck you gonna get all the money if all your citizens can't afford to do anything?
Now it's temporary layoffs, good times, scratching and surviving, good times. Yeah, that's where we're at right now. We're
Scratching and
scratching.
surviving.
For real. It's fucked up.
Mm.
I don't understand how this bill could pass, but I get it too. And my accusation, because I have no solid proof. I don't know these people. Sometimes I think we are in a simulation because never in my life am I going to see Biden, but this is our money.
and it
Stop spending it.
and it makes you
Stop
think.
it.
It makes you think like I see these like news articles where people are like a lot of people who were like voting for Biden last on the last election, they were like, yeah, fuck that. We're voting for Biden. We're voting for Biden. And now I start seeing like the shift has changed and they're like, fuck Biden. I'm voting for Trump again. I'm voting for Trump or I'm voting for this guy. I'm voting for that guy. You know what? It don't even matter. They all the goddamn
I've
same.
lost my faith in voting. I
They're
really
all
have.
the same.
They are.
You know, you
They're
know,
all out for number one. And let's just be honest. Let's be honest.
yeah,
Okay? They're just a fucking face.
yeah.
They are just a face to represent this country. And each one has done a horrible job.
Hmm.
Absolutely horrendous. And they were going to vote someone else in and they might even do an even shittier job. And we just keep voting these old ass fucking people into office. Where are the young people at? Why do we keep voting in these fucking ancient beings? I don't understand.
Yeah.
How is it that we have not evolved enough to get them to retire and have people in their 40s out except 50s, but then cuz man, at some point you got to let it go.
And well, the American experiment right now doesn't seem like it's faring too well. The other thing is, I feel like if we're gonna send money to these countries for foreign aid, we the people should be the ones that get to vote that. And I don't want to hear any. Oh, here's the
I don't want to hear
bill.
any back talk.
Yeah, that too. But I don't want to hear any. Oh, here's the bill, but we're gonna slide this other thing underneath the bill. No, no, fuck that. If you slide it underneath, then we ain't doing shit. Bye, bye,
No,
Felicia.
it's become
Bye.
such a money game and money gain for these government people, and we're letting them.
Hmm.
We're letting them.
Slowly
At
but
this
surely.
point, I don't even know what to do to get them the fuck out myself. I don't. I really don't because they're just I said it before, I'm going to say it again. They're gouging us. They are abusing us. I feel abused.
Yeah, I
You're
feel
taking my money and you're doing willy nilly shit with it.
it's
Now,
like
why? Why?
it's like America is treating its citizens like a Diddy freak off,
Oh
but
no,
we ain't
David.
getting the freak off part. We just getting off, just straight off
Yeah,
with a big
this
capital F in the beginning.
I would like for our spies to spy on our own government and see what the fuck is really going on.
Shit.
I am not your president. I'm a taxpayer and I want to know what the fuck they're doing behind closed doors because they're spending $93 billion on foreign aid,
Yeah.
not here. And people need help here. And I know you people live different lives up there on Capitol Hill, but it's not with our money.
You know what we need?
Like, come on.
You know what America needs? America needs the equalizer.
Right?
We need an equalizer that will go and look at every individual senator and be like, Oh, they doing bad. Time to go
Just too
equalize
many
in
it's
five
just too
minutes.
many people scamming the system, making money. I mean,
Well,
I see these things where these people in office stole money and got caught. And I mean, how many times is this going to happen before you do something different for that not to happen? And it just keeps happening, and
mhm.
I'm sick of this shit. $93 billion, and I think people have forgotten. Where's the 6 billion that you fucking lost? Where's
uh,
that money?
don't worry about that money. We on this other money right now.
No,
We
I'm worried about that money
don't
because
worry
that's
about that.
$6 billion that was just completely lost. Just like 24 billion. I mean, there's just handing billions out. Where's
Talking
ours?
about we ain't got no money to give our American citizens, but guess what? We got all this other money. Speaking of which, I
Mm.
want to transition this on over. I want to kick this over
34
to
and a half trillion. Remember that shit.
I want to kick this on over to something I saw on the same scope of this. It was on the Joe Rogan podcast with
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
And before we look at the actual um, the article that they showed, I want to go ahead and have you play that clip that I got. Um, so go ahead and you're gonna have to start it over from the beginning, and we'll go ahead and listen to this little quick clip. And yeah, go ahead and play it.
The Turner-Himes bill, Congressman Mike Turner and Jim Himes. So who are Mike Turner and Jim Himes? So it's just be funny. Both those guys are the most, and who knows why, and you can sort of fill in the blank on motive. I'm not going to. But those are two of the most reliable water carriers for the intel agencies and for basically the federal bureaucracy in the Congress. Like, these are not people who are working for their constituents. These are people who are working for permanent Washington. I would say these are two of the most sinister people. I know more about Turner than Himes.
Permanent Washington.
But so it's not surprising they're doing this. It would permit federal law enforcement
Listen
to
to this.
also force any other service provider with access to communications equipment to hand over data. Anyone with access to a Wi-Fi router, server, or even phone, anyone from a landlord to a laundromat, will be required to help the government spy. So that's the story right there. So basically,
Yeah,
Warrantless.
oh, of course, warrantless, absolutely, and in violation of the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, as if anyone cares anymore. No one does.
Nobody
Clearly,
cares.
nobody cares about the Constitution. Nobody cares about the Constitution. Your freedom of speech is already on its way out. Your Second Amendment is up for grabs. Your Fourth Amendment is also up for grabs, and uh, you ain't gonna be able to plead the Fifth. So here's the article that he was going over. So let's just bring that up. And this is from Freedom of Press Foundation. I don't know how credible this place is, but I just went there because that's what they were showing. And let's go ahead and scroll. Go ahead and read what you're reading here. Read it all out.
Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to read.
Yeah, go
On
ahead and read
Friday,
it
the
out
House
loud.
of Representatives agreed to reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, the controversial law that has allowed intelligence agencies to spy on Americans' emails, text messages, and phone calls without a warrant.
Yeah, yeah. So instead of worrying about what's going on about this money going somewhere, they also coming back to look at all of our shit, and that means all your cell phones, your emails, everything. And they say, "Oh no, we're not gonna do that. We don't spy." Stop lying. This is what the bill says.
So I want to say a couple months ago, I'm not exactly sure. It could have been a month ago, could have been 2 months, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw an article where a sheriff's station,
Yeah,
I don't know what county it was. I think it was Ventura, maybe.
yeah,
I'm not sure. But the part that really struck me was the part where they said asked their community to share their what are the cameras called? The ring cameras.
oh yeah, I
To
remember that.
share the ring cameras so they can log in for criminal activity.
Yeah, fuck all that.
What the fuck?
You ain't getting in
What the
shit
fuck?
in your
Like they're
private
already
network.
spying on us. Come on, let's just keep it super fucking
Hmm.
real. FBI is listening to this shit as we speak.
Hmm.
But I'm not supposed to know that, right? And I'm just supposed to live with it, right? I mean, I have been. I haven't protested the shit. I have a phone. I got computers throughout the house and cameras throughout the house. And yeah, there's nothing I can do about it at this point, but this is on a whole other fucking level. This is basically blatant in your face. We're watching everything you fucking do. You can't make a move without us. And that I can't. I just
Well,
can't.
it's all what people a lot of people don't remember is back in the early 2000s there was the whole saying big brother, big brother. Well,
We're here.
big brother is no longer big brother. Big brother has now converted into the old man,
We're
and he
here
knows,
though.
yeah, and he knows everything. The old man knows everything. He's
We are
watching
at that point.
everything. We are in the Matrix. We are officially entered the Matrix, and none of us have powers, and Neo is nowhere to be found. I don't know where Morpheus is at. I haven't seen Trinity. Where are they?
So I was thinking about that the other day in regards to are we like in a simulation and blah blah blah. And I kind of thought to myself, maybe we are, because maybe these people that we see on television really aren't real. They're just some digital bullshit that's up, for us to
Mm.
see and for us to be entertained by. And the world is more like the Truman Show, and this is the bullshit that we're fed.
Well, if that's the case, I would like to say right now, I need the NPCs that I interact with throughout the day to don't ask me questions unless questions are being asked. Leave me alone. I ain't got nothing to say. I don't want to talk. No, I do not need help in the electronics aisle while I'm looking for a cable. If I
uh
ain't asked you, don't come over
this is
talking.
just us ranting on these topics like we don't know. I'm just basing it on how I feel about
Yeah.
these things because it does affect us to a certain extent, and I'm sick of this shit. I'm sick of it. I never cared so much about things like this until now.
Yeah.
And it's because we're living in a shit world. Pretty soon we are going to be in demolition man times where
Either that or Mad Max.
people are living fucking underground or living wherever they can live to make sure that LA is looking great, or the cities of whatever state you live in are looking great, and they're going to push these homeless people into a state of a revolution, cuz that's what's going to happen, I feel.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's just
I don't know. All I know is
yeah.
I'm tired of giving out money that is not being used to do what they say they were supposed to do. I'm tired of the United States government giving foreign aid to people. Again, I get
Yeah.
it. Humanitarian efforts, I'm all for that, but we got to start with humanitarian efforts at home first.
No, I totally
And
agree
once
with you.
once we can at least get a handle on our own humanitarian efforts in our own house, then yeah, we can go ahead and give aid to these people, give aid to these people. Sure, if we gotta go and step in and help somebody because this other government or regime is about to take over, okay, I get it. We gotta try to stop some things from happening from evil people. But we gotta stop the evil people in our own borders at this point in time. Cause they're just running rampant.
Um
Eval.
I would we went and hung out with my family yesterday, and my aunts were asking us if we wanted to go to El Salvador. Now, not too long ago, you couldn't go to El Salvador. Like if you did, which I was always in fear of my aunts going, but if you did, you can't wear jewelry. Like it was scary because
It
of
was
all the
lawless.
all yes, it was lawless. Of all the gang members that they deported back to El Salvador, these people were running amok out there, murdering people. I know somebody that I work with that his cousins were murdered by them. in front of their kids, and it was sad. Like it's and that's like a lot of people's stories. They couldn't walk, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't go out and enjoy themselves. They couldn't do anything. It was lawless. It was crazy, and I feared for them going out there. All of my family, anyone that went out there, because it was insane how easily someone could lose their life out there and nothing would happen.
Hmm.
That has since changed, and I'm happy about it because it makes me now feel like it's safe to go out there.
Hmm.
A lot of people have started to go because it's now that safe. All the people that were murdering the new president, he came and he cleaned it all up. Like all these gang members and everything that took over, he got rid of the corrupt cops. Like he just came and swept up El Salvador, and now they are like everybody's trying to go. I want to go.
He drained the swamp.
So what's happening in a different country is Mexico,
Hmm.
where Americans are now going to be deported. And that's by the Mexican president.
Hmm.
He's saying he is going to start deporting people, because American people, because not only are they on Mexican land illegally, they
Hmm.
don't have papers to be in Mexico, but they're trying to colonize it and they're trying to change things there.
Yeah.
There's one restaurant that's been there for over 30 years, and these Americans came and bought a townhouse right next to it. And this place plays loud music and they make a lot of noise. They're a restaurant, and a lot of Mexican restaurants, if you don't know, they're very loud. They
They have
they
live
have
bands.
they
Yeah.
have live bands, and it can get very loud and noisy and rowdy, and it's fun. That's fun, right?
Yeah. It's not violent. It's just, it's
No,
a
it's
party.
fun.
It's a
Yeah, it's a
party.
party. And they're bothered by that. And now they've been complaining, and now they're trying to shut this restaurant down because of the noise. You have another one where there was this, it's some tourist place, and it's a tourist guide, and she's a white woman, an American woman, and she tried to kick Mexican people out of that spot so that she can do her tourist thing. I feel that American people don't understand that you're in a foreign country.
Hmm.
You don't belong there.
Hmm.
And for you to try to tell someone that is from that land that they can't do that and try to take over, that's crazy. And now they're raising the prices on everything because Americans are going over there and using dollars instead of pesos.
Yeah. And
So now
yeah.
that's affecting their economy because Americans don't want to do what they're told, and they rather use dollars than pesos.
Yeah. Well, as far as the deportation goes, good. They do it here. Let them do it there.
And the
You're
reason
not,
they're out there is because they can't afford to live out here.
again, you out there illegally, you get deported. Oh, well, I don't care. That's what you get.
To
Um,
me, it's crazy that they're trying to do this in 2024. I don't I This not the first time they try to colonize anything. We
well,
all know this.
I don't know how well these colonization efforts are going to happen in Mexico,
No, it's not.
because one of the things that I know about Mexico is the cartels out there are not going to go for that, and the cartels still do a lot of stuff in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
It is a foreign country. You play at your own risk.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
every time I've gone, which has only been one time, I go there to be as hospitable as possible. Leave me alone. I do
And
not
we
want
had a great
nothing.
time.
Yeah.
We had a great time.
But, I'm not going to go to somebody's home. But then again, I'm not of the ilk of like an American from the days of yore where they thought I'm going to come to the new land, and the new land was inhabited by natives, and they said this is our land. We taking this. We want that all.
Right?
So yeah, America is the only country that wherever they go, they try to set up shop and they don't leave. And it is what it is, but there's a consequence to pay for that. You go over there and you think that you're gonna, have the same rights and
Mm-hmm.
abilities that you have in America in Mexico. Well, good luck with that. Let me know how that turns out.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear no sob story about how they did this to me and did that to me. You
You're in
better
a different country.
be happy you left with your life.
Yeah, because some people didn't.
Yeah, and my heart goes out to those families that lost loved ones throughout the years, throughout the ages of going to Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, even the police department, I heard, is corrupt to a degree. I mean, I would hear stories of you go down to Mexico, you get in trouble, and now you got to pay the police officer to let you go or spend eternity in jail,
Yeah.
and you will get washed in jail so quick. They forget you were there.
Yeah.
You still here? Oh, it's been like 8 years.
Yeah. Um,
So
yeah.
again, I don't have much to say about somebody going to a foreign country, any foreign country, and try to regulate the foreign country as if it's their own. You go over there, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't care.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
I
have any
feel like
sympathy
you
for
should
them.
just know how to behave
Yeah,
yourself in someone else's territory.
yeah,
Especially Americans. Americans can be some of the rudest and privileged.
yeah,
And they don't respect other people's land or culture.
yeah. Well,
And they try to sell it as their own,
yeah,
and it's not.
yeah.
So,
Well,
yeah.
that meme. There's the guy that tells you there's a chart. The fuck around chart. You fuck around, and how much you fuck around is how much you're gonna find out. So you go to any foreign country,
Yeah.
and show your ass.
Yeah, any foreign country.
You
That's
are gonna
that's
fuck
real.
around and find out.
Yeah.
I don't care if you go to Canada. You go up there, you fuck around, you will find out. Old Canada is not playing with your monkey asses.
All right. So I'm moving on.
What you got now?
Last topic.
Last topic of the day. What we got? What we got going
I
on?
saw a video and I saw a couple videos where the question was posed to, I believe it was about 8 to 10 women.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
If you were in a forest, who would you choose to be there with? A bear or a man?
Okay.
And I want to say 9 out of the 10 women
Mm-hmm.
chose the bear.
Okay. It says a lot about what women think of men.
Yeah.
Um, because I remember when you mentioned it to me, I said, was there any stipulations between with the bear? Like, is this a friendly bear, or is this like Boo Boo,
No.
or is this just a wild bear, whatever type of bear it
Wild
is?
bear.
And I thought to myself, so a woman would choose a bear instead of a man, and have to accept that as soon as she and the bear are alone together, imminent death is about to happen. So, you and the bear get dropped off in a secluded area. The bear gets out, looks at you, and it's imminent death. I mean, that's kind of how I look at bears
Uh-huh.
over a man, and that kind of says a lot. And the point that you made was you don't know what type of man you're getting.
Correct.
And that says a lot to me about the psyche of a woman, on what a woman has to look at when it comes to men in general.
Mm-hmm.
That that the bear is the option. you know
Yeah.
Polar bears are man hunters, they're man eaters, they give no fucks. Grizzly bears same way. It's like, and that's what you're choosing. Oh, so it just says a lot to
So my
me.
response to that is I choose the bear.
Yeah.
He asked me why. And I said because the bear is doing what it's supposed to do. It's a predator, it's wild, it's not tamed, It doesn't give a fuck about me.
Hmm.
It's going to do what it's going to do. It's going to attack me, kill me, whatever, right? If I
May
can
even leave you
outrun it,
alone.
if I can escape it, whatever. But a man, a conscious person who can make decisions, think strategically, and knows right from wrong, I can't. I can't because I don't know what type of man I'm getting. I don't know if I'm getting a kind man. I don't know if I'm getting uh, a predator. I don't know, and I don't want to deal with that. I'd rather deal with the bear.
So I thought I thought that was fascinating when you told me about it, and I heard what the parameters of this whole thing was, and I'm like, wow. So all these women are choosing, and like I said, the way I saw it was women are choosing imminent death over the possibility of being with a man who they could have companionship with. And when I mean companionship, I'm not talking about sexual. I'm just talking about,
Someone to talk to.
someone to talk to, somebody to help
I'd
figure
rather
out
be alone.
problems,
I'd rather
of the
be alone
wild.
because, again, you don't know what you're getting. If you
Mhm.
get a kind man, that's great. That's wonderful, but you don't know.
Yeah,
With the bear, you know what you're getting.
it's a 50-50 gamble.
Correct.
Ain't
With a
no,
bear, it's automatic. You already know what you're getting. It's wild and it's going to do what it's, going to do in that
uh-huh.
type of environment.
It's either gonna leave me
But
alone or it's up all the way.
a man will, you know, treat me well and help me and will live in the forest forever, or he will have me live in the forest with him, but I have to be possibly sexually assaulted, um, beaten, mentally, emotionally, like broken down. I don't know. And
Mhm.
I don't want that. I don't want to live like that. I'd rather live with a bear and know what I'm getting. That's
Yeah,
how I see it.
you're getting one or two options. You're getting Captain America or you get Ike Turner.
Pretty much. There was another one that I came across. This was a while back ago. I don't really remember, but
Mhm.
I'll tell you what I do remember. I believe the question was, what would you do if there were no men on Earth? If there
Mhm.
were no more men? And the girl that was creating the video, she created the content, and she
Yeah.
said, I would get up, um, and put a mini skirt on and go jogging at night. And I kind of found that odd. But then I realized that a woman can't do that. A woman cannot go out at night in a mini skirt and be okay. Some women, not all women, um, she would walk around naked in her home. Some women don't feel comfortable enough to do that. Um,
Mhm.
she would go bra shopping, like all these things that you feel uncomfortable doing, but with another woman you're okay. Now I'm not saying that women don't aren't predators. Like there are women like that
Yeah.
do crazy shit, right? But I I feel that what she was trying to say is that no matter what occasion, a woman cannot be comfortable in the presence of a man
Mhm.
because it's
There's always a
always
what if.
correct.
Well, in that situation, one of the things that would end up happening, I feel, is that certain things in society will start to break down, and the collapse of society would happen because the things that men do, the things that men do in our society I don't think women are willing to
No,
do
no,
it.
no. I totally get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but this is not about that. This is
I
about
have to look at it
no,
logically.
no, no, absolutely, and I totally get where you're coming from, but that's not what where I'm taking it.
Hmm.
The place I'm taking it is a woman does not feel safe around men.
Yeah.
Uh, is that how did I say it correctly?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
woman does not feel safe around men.
Yeah.
Uh,
Women don't feel safe. Not a woman.
okay.
Never mind.
Women don't feel safe around men. No, you're right.
Yeah.
Um, it that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you think you know somebody and you really don't. So it's just women don't feel safe around men, and that goes to say about the whole man versus bear. Which would you prefer? And a lot of women would prefer the bear because they, again, you know what you're getting. You're getting a
Mm.
predator, a killer, whatever. He's wild or it's wild and
Yeah.
it's going to do whatever because you know that's what it is. But a man can pretend to be so many things, but in reality, he might be a psychopath. And you might be strung up and tortured for God knows how long, keeps you fed long enough just to keep you going.
Yeah. I think that that perspective would change in women. Um, if I feel this way that all women at a young age should learn self defense. I
Yes,
think that
I
they should.
agree.
I think parents should teach women self defense. I think even boys should learn self defense, but I think self defense in a child, regardless of their gender, is um, very important. Not because you're there, you have to worry about them fighting off, a man or something like that. But I think it's just in general, like you can get jumped by a gaggle of women,
No,
you
absolutely.
know.
I
Um,
agree with you.
and I believe I'm a firm believer of all children of a certain age should start. I think at 5 years old, that's when they should start learning some form of self defense, whether it's boxing, martial arts, judo, whatever you want to call it, karate,
Yeah.
taekwondo. I
No,
don't care.
I totally agree.
I think all children should learn that because I think it's something that is imperative that is taught to kids.
Yeah.
I think a lot of bullying will stop. I think a lot of physical harm stuff would stop between kids because you have kids that know how to fight. Of course, you're still going to have bullying regardless because the bigger pick on the weaker.
No,
It's
I
just the
agree
way it
with you,
is.
but
But
back to the woman learning
hmm
or knowing how to defend herself, that sometimes that doesn't come into play.
hmm
Sometimes you get overpowered because men are stronger.
that is true. But at the same time, I feel like even though men are stronger, if a woman knows how to defend herself, it puts her in a better position and not just being vulnerable. I feel a lot of women feel they're vulnerable because they don't know how to fight. They don't
No,
know how to.
I understand, but even women that have fought, that know how to
Hmm.
fight, have been taken over.
I'm not
And
saying that's
it
not
okay,
a thing. Yeah. Sorry.
calm down, Dave. I was just saying because the way you're making it sounds like you're still defending your point, and I'm not trying to shoot your point down. I'm trying to get you to see my point of view because I feel like you don't hear me.
I hear
And
your
me,
point.
hold on, me as a woman
Hmm.
who has dealt with men in situations like that,
Hmm.
they can overpower you.
Hmm.
And there have been many stories of women who are fighters. They literally box
Hmm.
or they do kickboxing or they
Hmm.
do some type of martial arts who have been taken over by men
Hmm.
and abused and raped and some even trafficked.
I get that, but you have a better. Here's the thing: you, as a person, regardless of your gender or whatever the hell these kids are identifying themselves as these days, you as a human being have a better chance at defending yourself if you know how to defend yourself,
No, I agree.
regardless of if you're going to get overpowered or if you're not going to get overpowered. Um, as big as I am, I can be overpowered,
No, I'm not denying that.
you know, but I have a better chance at not being overpowered if I know how to defend myself. And
Absolutely.
I feel the same applies with women. Of course, you know, a man's a bigger person, you have, size advantage, you have all these different advantages. These are the outliers in that whole situation. What I'm saying, what you're saying, those are the outlier things that take into to effect, but the confidence level I feel would be different. You wouldn't see a woman just panic at the disco if she has to defend herself. Yeah, she may be like, oh my God, like anybody, any human would be like, oh my God, what the fuck is happening? But then I feel like that self defense will start to kick in. It's like, okay, nose punch, groin kick, eye gouge, plunger up the ass.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I
But
totally get it, but
that's why I
I
say that.
no, I understand. I'm just back to the realistic thing of sometimes people freeze.
Absolutely.
Sometimes people don't know what to do when it's actually happening because they're frozen with fear.
Hmm.
So there's that. There's just a different scenarios. I agree with you 100%. Like, yeah, it should kick in. Yeah, you should do something, fight.
Hmm.
But sometimes that's not the case and it may not happen that way.
No, absolutely. I
So,
mean, but that doesn't that what you're saying that you're saying does not it's not bound by a
we're
gender.
just going in circles here because
No,
this
but I'm
is
I'm just saying
no,
like
I
that's not bound
understand.
by gender because as a man, I've seen men freeze
I
in the
know.
moment where they need to,
Step up
step up and act,
for sure.
So I
So
that's
have
why I
I.
said those type of things are outliers. I think in the core, if you know how to defend yourself, you will be able to do something. You just won't take it. You know what I mean? You'll be able to.
You don't know because you ain't ever been in that position, sir.
That's correct.
So don't talk about something that you've never had to deal with.
Hmm.
Again, me as a woman, I've had to deal with this.
No, I get it.
So that's why I get your point of view,
Hmm.
but a woman is telling you and I don't feel like you're accepting it.
I do accept it, but
And
I
then you just keep defending the same
because
argument, but my hold on,
uh huh.
you keep defending the same argument, which I've accepted, and I've even agreed, like, yes, I agree with you, but I feel like you keep trying to make it about that, and it's not. There's just so many different scenarios where someone can freeze, someone can know how to defend themselves, but they're still taken over by this person. You don't know the scenario.
Okay, scenario aside, scenario means nothing if you know how to,
Oh man.
because what you're saying is all these what ifs, what if isms.
But you're stuck
But
on
hold
that.
on,
You're stuck on what you're about to say.
but the what if isms don't matter. Those are the outliers that I mentioned. Bottom line is if you know how to defend yourself, if you know how to take a punch or and give a punch, you have a better chance
Okay.
at surviving an attack, regardless if you are a man or a woman. Yes, you may get your ass kicked. Yes, you may win the fight. These are the what if situations, but you
Yeah.
are more prepared and more equipped to handle conflict if you are trained enough to
Do deal
handle.
with that.
Yes. And that's the point that I'm making.
All
And
right.
that's why I was saying I feel that all children at starting at the age of 5 should all go and have some type of combat training to some degree. And I feel that the parents should invoke these things in their child so that they can be more equipped to handle day in, day out situations where they may get into a combat situation regardless. Yes, all these other what if isms could happen, and it could go horribly wrong or it could go horribly right. We don't know.
Yeah.
Those are the outlier things. But I feel anyone in any kind of field, the more you're educated and understand, the better chances of you completing a goal or having um, the right turnout in that event, regardless of what it is, whether it's combat, whether it's mathematics, whether it's being an electrician. That's what I'm getting at.
All right.
That's what I'm getting at.
Okay.
So anyway, what you got there?
So that's it. Pretty much. That's the end of this podcast. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Please hit the subscribe if you have gone this far. Peace.